Welcome back, everybody, to DRL TV. My name is Ryan Branch, alongside Martin Wenzel for the DRL Cup Series, Sin City 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Got 133 laps around the 1.5 mile track. So we got partly cloudy conditions out there, 68 degrees. I think the track's running about 90 right now. Martin, you ready for this race, buddy?
Oh yeah. Not sure if this has... I don't think we have the new package yet, so this will probably be the last race we'll see with that old aero package or whatever.
Yeah, the new aerodynamics package that came out this year for the Cup Series in NASCAR will be coming to iRacing, I believe, tomorrow night, so we will see that in next week's race. Next week we go, where? ISM, I believe?
Yep, Phoenix.
So, next week it'll be the Phoenix 256 at ISM Speedway in Avondale, Arizona. Me and Martin will bring that right back to you here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Right now the guys are running through qualifying. It's like, who do we have? Eric Hutton, I believe, had the fastest time in practice. Right now, Anthony Burrows sits in second. Joseph Helt on the pole currently. Burrows is going to run second for the time being. Josh Patterson in the 01, fairly new driver to the Dynasty Racing League. He sits in third. Run through a whole starting order as these guys get ready to grid up here in about 30 seconds. Thanks to all the viewers for tuning in tonight. Hopefully this is going to be a good race. Fairly good luck throughout the week, I believe, in NIS races and A-fixed races for a lot of these guys. It's been very clean. Might have a few cautions early to start the night out. Just as everybody gets used to each other and racing around a big pack of other cars. But we have, what do we have, 27 or 29 drivers showing up again here tonight? So
30, looks like it's going to be 31. Eric Wolf and Tommy Bordeaux putting down really slow laps to start at the rear of the field.
Okay,
not sure the strategy there. Interesting.
I think they're both very good road racers. I know Tommy Bordeaux is. I believe Eric Wolf's fairly good at the road courses. But Eric Wolf, obviously... 2 seasons ago was the very first winner of the DRL Cup Series, so
yeah.
You know,
so it's kind of interesting strategy, those two guys, because usually you don't see those two guys, and they're the only two guys that put down really slow laps. Everyone else, really, the top 29 guys, all within half a second of each other. I mean, the fastest time 29.052, and then that 29th Dustin Musial 29.503. So all within half a second of each other.
You guys see the point standings here. Joseph Helt's been very good throughout the Winter Series, has been pretty good so far here. He sits in 4th currently in the point standings, but he is our pole sitter. I'm going to try to grab him for a quick interview. Let's see, Mr. Helt, where are you? Oh, Joseph Helt. There he is. Joseph Helt, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, pole position tonight after the practice. It seemed there was definitely some really quick times put down, but maybe guys being nervous about touching the wall. How you feeling about the race this evening?
We'll see. We'll see. Did one full-length race, or did the NIS, so we'll see. We'll see how the long run goes, but hot lap with feeling pretty good.
You got some laps under your belt. Haven't got a win yet this season, so go out there and get one, man. Hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the night.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That was Joseph Helt, your pole sitter for this evening. There in that 02 car, now racing for S2R Racing, or Silent Syndicate Racing, whatever you want to call those guys. There's quite a few of them out there that run with them. You got Wade Hustad, Thomas Harmon, and Joseph Helt, I think, are the 3 guys on that team. I don't know if Connor Lane is on S2R or not, but then there is some other guys in the channel working alongside them. Anthony Burrows, Getty Buckner, who is a racer in that B-Car series on Tuesday nights. He has actually stepped into this race this evening, so the one driver
qualifies 4th place.
Yeah, fourth place qualifying. I know he won a race, an NIS race, actually. I believe he won an NIS race here this week, so... he's definitely comfortable with the track. Let's see if I can pull up this grid and run through it real quick as they come around to get ready to take the green flag. Joseph Helt in 1st. Anthony Burrows will start 2nd in the 62. Josh Patterson in 3rd in the 01. Getty Buckner starts 4th. Got Caden Honeycutt in 5th. Wade Hustad in the 6th position. Chad Presnall 7th, Eric Hutton in 8th. Got Logan McCannley starting 9th, Thomas Harmon 10th, Kevin Varnador in 11th, Harry Tiller 12th. Salvatore Di Gennaro is going to start in the 13th spot, with Richard Lucky starting 14th, Carl Dodson 15th, Chris Lucky in 16th, so the Lucky guys very close to each other. Spencer Tartan 17th, Christopher Pope 18th. Pace car is going to pull off the track, and we're going to take the green flag. Connor Lane starts 19th, Sean Hughes in 20th. Eli Hinton 21st, Mike Springer 22nd. Chris James in 23rd, Taylor Butcher-Benjamin starts 24th. And we are green flag racing. Hunter Johnson in the 25th spot, Jim Lester starts 26th. Alexander Russell 27th, John Mullins 28th. Dustin Loser in the 29th spot. And then we did have a couple other guys there at the back. Seth Noel, Eric Wolf, and Tommy Bordeaux, 30th, 31st, and 32nd. So. A little late on the starting grid there after the interview with our pole sitter, but
whoa, I'm seeing a black flag for Joseph Held. Oh, okay, he got cleared. That was a mistake. I think the black flag should be for Seth Noel because he didn't put down a qualifying time. Joseph Held was probably like, what the heck was that? Why am I getting a black flag?
Joseph Held takes that outside line, hits the wall on the way out of turn 2. So Joseph Held, the pole sitter, quickly going to drop back through the field here as he now has Chad Presnall nipping at his heels. Here to the inside of him.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that had anything to do with him just kind of being a little bit distracted by the whole black flag situation there. He was issued a black flag, and that should have been for Seth Noel. Seth Noel is going to have to come down pit road. I think he has.
Very, very real possibility. Could have been looking at that. Tommy Bordeaux is also already down pit lane. Not sure why he's coming down yet. Eric Hutton in that 78 car, the Chick-fil-A vehicle you see there. He was the fastest time in practice, so he's going to try to make his way towards the front. Anthony Burrows in the 62 was in first position after Joseph Held's mistake, but now Getty Buckner has been there first. So 33, like I said, he did have an NIS win. He's coming up from those B cars, and so far showing these Cup guys how it's done tonight. Eric Wolf.
Yeah, Eric Wolf also coming down. Well, I'm not sure what is going on with these three these 30th through 32nd. I'm not sure what their deal is. They're already getting new tires. See, Wolf, at least one side of his car was lifted up. No idea what this is about.
Bordeaux has now been on pit road for over 30 seconds, so I don't know if we'll see him come back out on the track.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and see if I can see anything that happened to these guys. Like maybe they got involved in something early on, but I'm not able to see anything. Let's see.
Well, Getty Buckner is now out to a significant lead, and we have a new second place driver. Gabe Honeycutt in the 37 has been running in that 62 car as well. Josh Patterson in the 01 sits 4th, and Eric Hutton in that Chick-fil-A 78 is in the 5th spot. Just behind them, Wade Stad, 32. His running partner, Chad Presnall, in that 55. We got Thomas Harmon in the 68 car there, running 8th. And Logan McCannley in the 88 is 9th. That place right now is Kevin Varnador in the 63. So far, Martin, everything's staying nice and clean for these guys. Obviously, unless Eric Wolf and Bordeaux got tangled up in something there early.
And Joseph Helt is falling back. Yeah, now he's battling with Harry Tiller and Connor Lane, trying to hang on.
Maybe reaching for a hotkey or something to try to chat to tell them that he should have seen the black flag. He does contact that outside wall. Get the damage fixed on the very first caution. He'll still be able to get out there and he's there on the outside of Connor Lane in the number 5. And the number 69 of Harry Tiller. Connor Lane all the way down to the apron. Normally this far into the run, it's time to stop doing that because these cars get very, very loose when you put them down the apron. It definitely upsets the car a little bit. But he does use it to edge out the O2 of health, so works for him for now, but I think that 10 lap point is about when it's time to quit doing all of that. Back up to the front, that gap is closed a little bit as the 37 of Honeycutt is slowly reeling in the 33 of Getty Buckner. Now Josh Patterson and Eric Hutton and Wade Hustad are all around the 62 of Anthony Burrows, so Burrows qualified second. A very good hot lap, but struggling to keep up with some of these guys after 10 laps or so.
Yeah, Tommy Bordeaux now out of his car, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I couldn't see what happened between those guys. Eric Wolf's still on pit road. No damage on his car, so... Really curious what the
Oh! Thomas
reasoning
Harmon
for
gets
that
into the wall there. That number 68 car bounces off the wall, and who got into? So go back and grab that. The 68 right here.
got into Connor Lane, got into Harry Tiller, Joseph Helt. Looks like 13. Who's the 13? That's Sean Hughes.
So he bounces down to the 41, and then he has some guys trying to come around him. So Spencer Tart, 63 to 5, all of them.
Chris Pope collected in that, I think. He's getting on the...
Oh, wow, he gets turned a second time. That wasn't the first time it happened, so it had happened just prior to that, and then that's where the big wreck comes out. So Thomas Harmon causing heavy, heavy damage to some of these cars. I don't know if that was all his fault. He finally got turned there. Yeah, it was. He hit that outside wall just like...
Yeah, he hit the wall, and Chris Lucky got into him, yeah? Or no, is that Jim Westerfield?
41 of Richard Lucky.
Yeah, it's Chris Lucky.
That's not what caused the accident. Thomas Harmon just stuck there on the outside, and I think the 5, Connor Lane,
then it came later.
A little bit. Let's watch that one more time.
Well, he's collecting. He's collecting it, and he's kind of... I'm watching here now, past... Yeah, he hit the wall. He kind of comes down... Connor Lane kind of comes up, and they just kind of get into each other, and that collects a lot of guys right behind them. Hunter Johnson.
I mean, the initial wall bounce is what started the cause. Connor Lane is on his way up. Thomas Harmon on his way down. Oh, the 69. So Connor Lane lets out of the gas just a little bit, and the 69 at Harry Tiller gives him a little bump, and that sends him right into the 68. So Harry Tiller wasn't expecting him to get out of the gas like that, and frankly, in my opinion, Harmon could have rode a little closer to the wall there, but
yeah, Harmon kind of was pinching down, and that's why
set of circumstances for
Connor Lane had to get off the gas to stay out of him. And
back up to the front, it looks like Alexander Russell has decided to stay out here. 14 laps on the tires. The 44 is still out there. Maybe he'll be pitting this next time by.
I'm looking at pit road. Josh Patterson first off, Eric Hutton, Getty Buckner.
Wow, so Getty comes off in 4th after leading this entire race. And Alexander Russell is going to be your new leader. Again, he might come down and take a pit stop here in just a moment, but not 100% positive. Some viewers in the channel asking where John Theodore is. That's a no-show.
Oh, yeah, John Theodore. I didn't see him, yeah.
Not like him to not show up. So. Yeah, the 44 is going down in pit. Back up to the front. Josh Patterson, you're in that 01 car. Eric Hutton in the 78 is going to start just outside of him, and Getty Buckner will start 3rd. Joseph Helt back down pit road to probably get some more repairs. Christopher Pope has been down there for over 2 minutes. Harry Tiller, the one who initially bumped the back of the 5 just a little bit, causing that accident, has been down there.
Yeah, this is something race control. This is something race control has to decide, like who caused that You know, because yeah, you know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Harry Tiller caused that," but it's not like Harry Tiller just drove in there and ran someone over.
Right. Well, he was
Like
right on his bumper, and he
yeah,
didn't
he's right on his
expect
bumper,
Connor
and
Lane to let off like that. So.
so it's like, where do you place the blame on that kind of thing? And I think there is blame to go around to a couple guys there, and I think Thomas Harmon shares
Yeah, I
some of
mean,
the blame for
yeah.
that.
The whole thing started with the contact in the wall and
Mhm.
Harmon being stuck on the outside with a slow car there. That's where it all began. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and Harmon kind of coming down there, that forces the 5 of Connor Lane to ease off the gas
Yep.
and check up, because if you keep on the gas, he's going to coast right into him and take him out into the wall.
Yeah, and then everyone's going to blame it on
Yes,
the
he's up
5.
there.
It's all the 5's fault. Well,
Yeah, and so he eases up. Well, Harry Tiller's right there. He's not expecting him to ease up, so he. You know, I mean, as a racer, maybe you have to know that that guy. You can see that 68 kind of coming down, but you don't know what's gonna
that's the
happen
point
there.
in the corner, Martin, where you
It's
really
really
don't want to
difficult.
let off the gas, because
Oh,
if
yeah.
you let off the gas at that point in the corner, it ruins your entire straightaway. So that's the contemplation there. Harry Tiller obviously not expecting Lane to let up, but
Oh, I've had that happen so many times where I've let off because I can see those two guys coming together right in front of me,
yeah, and then you
and then
get ran around
they get
by about 4 people on the outside.
they go on their merry way. I now lose 10 spots because I avoided a wreck, and I'm out of the race now because I'm never going to catch them. And so, yeah, that's sometimes the idea. It's like, well, maybe I just kind of go in here. Maybe I give them a tap. Maybe I just stay out and hope everything works out. But our new leader is Josh Patterson.
Yeah, Wade Hustad finding himself up in the 4th spot. I think he qualified 6th, was it? Let's look here.
Yep, he qualified
Hustad,
6th. Getty
started in the
Buckner.
6th spot.
Yeah, Eric Hutton has moved up from the 8th to 2nd. Some other movers, Spencer Tart started in 17th. He's now in 8th.
Yeah, Hutton in that beautiful Chick-fil-A car. I love the paint scheme. Pace car is off, and we're going to take the green flag, folks. Thomas Harmon still down pit road now for a little over 4 minutes.
A little bit of a ragged restart there, but everyone gets going. Josh Patterson out to a nice gap over for 2nd and 3rd place.
I almost expect with some of the guys who got shuffled around during that pit stop under caution to have another quick caution here. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but these guys will want to get a position or 2 back if they got shuffled around.
Yeah, and I think
out, go single file.
With these kind of tracks, I think there's some guys. I mean, every track there's guys that are really good on the short runs, and other guys that are really good on the long runs.
He's really quick, carries a lot of momentum into that corner. The 32 weight forcing him way outside. Buckner almost contacts the wall.
Yeah, he's gonna drop back to. What was that, 6?
Joseph helped Thomas Harmon before him. He does not actually make contact with the wall, so able to keep the car clean. Getty Buckner just needs to be patient. He knows he's quick here. He's done very well all week here at Vegas, so definitely doesn't want to be that guy who's a non-points driver and come up here and ruin the night of a points driver. As he once again runs very high in that corner. I almost wonder if Getty Buckner's trying to run that line. Somewhat comfortable up there for how close he's running next to the wall. All I know is I'm not comfortable running that close to the wall, especially not in one of these cup cars. I guess there's a reason I race in the truck series, not the cup series, right, Martin?
Yeah, some of these guys, you see them just run that wall the whole way.
Chad Presnall trying to make a move around him, and he will do so. So Chad Presnall now up into 3rd position, and Caden Honeycutt's going to try the same thing, except inside instead of out. I've found throughout the week that inside lane is real tough to run. You got to fight the car; it wants to get loose on you. And just like we saw, a few minutes ago there with Connor Lane, you want to let off towards the end of the corner. You can't do that coast out like you would like to towards that wall. So very hard to maintain the straightaway speed the guys that are running the outside line can.
Well, yeah, that inside line, you've got to lock it down and know where, you've got to determine where you're going to be coming out of that corner here, because you can't go all the way to the wall if there's guys, if you're racing other guys.
Honeycutt's burning up his tires here, trying to get around the just pull up the track and run behind him as he finally does so, and now you'll have Spencer Tart try to make his way around Honeycutt on that inside line. I know it's not a dirt track, but you almost, and there it is. Spencer Tart gets up into the 37.
Tart and Honeycutt.
You almost have to put a slide job on the guy, and I think Tart pushed it there. Tart might see a black flag from that, from race control. We're going to go back and watch it a little closer
He
here.
just didn't lock it down. He just couldn't keep it down on that low line. Honeycutt did not give him any room. Honeycutt stayed right on that seam and said, hey, you're going to have to fight me for this.
Well, and that's what he should do. You know what I mean? And
Tart
should have the mentality there to let off. If you can't make the pass clean, don't make the pass. But let's go back and watch it one more time. Go to the car chase view here. Let's see what happens. So Spencer Tart running the better line, obviously, because Honeycutt was trying to get around Wade Hustad. So Tart with much more straightaway speed. Honeycutt just runs his normal line, said, hey, dude, I'm not going to coast up the track and give you room.
Yeah, that's how I would play it, too. When a guy's trying to pass me down there, I keep him held down there. You better make that move. He's got to hold it down, and I'm playing on the fact that he's going to coast up. He's going to have to, he needs more room, and he's going to have to let off, or he's going to just wreck you.
Well, that's what Spencer Tart chooses to do.
But it's going to cost him, too, so... in that situation, in Honeycutt's situation there, he's gambling that that guy on the inside is going to be, wise enough to just let off. It's early in the race.
We have some guys that, oh, did I already miss the end of pit road here? I did. Oh, you know what? That's why. Wasn't on live. Oh, I apologize for that, guys. I missed most of the action coming down pit road here. Let's see if we can capture it here.
Yeah, we got a little drama between Carl Dodson and Honeycutt down pit road because Honeycutt's saying Dodson wasn't going pit speed, so he passed him on the inside. He passed him and kind of blocked off Dodson's box here, I think. That's what the issue is.
To the 01, the 78, the 55, the 32, and then the 33 of Getty Buckner racing off pit road in that order. Taylor Butcher Benjamin either missed his pit box or has decided to stay out here, so the number 8 is going to occupy the first spot.
I think Honeycutt's going to get penalized. I would be surprised if he doesn't get penalized at some point for that driving. He's driving down the left hand of pit road. Now he claims it's because the 87 was not going pit road speed.
Well, that's something
that
down the admins can look at after the race.
He didn't get by. He didn't get by the 87 before the 87 had to get into his pit box. So the 87 hits him in the door to get into his pit box, damages both their cars.
Oh wow!
So the 37 is not making any friends early here, and
I think Caden Honeycutt missed the last race because he didn't realize it was on Monday night. Thought it was still on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And now it's first race back, causing some waves.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him for the racing, the actual incident out there that caused the yellow flag. That's not his fault. That's him just racing hard. Could he have slipped outside and given Spencer Tart room? Sure, but he's a racer. He's going to make you take that spot.
Well, it's tough. I kind of play both sides of that field. He knew that Tart had a big run on him, and at this point in the race, you kind of almost say, hey, I'm going to let him go. I'll get him back in a few laps, but...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you look at the point in the race, it's like, okay, maybe just let him go.
A crash noise. Did you hear a little bit of a crash noise just now?
I did not, but as I was saying, Katie Honeycutt is going to get the EOL for running down the left-hand lane of pit road. That is the rule, regardless of if the guy in front of you is putzing. If the guy in front of you is putzing, go in the grass and pass him or something. I don't know.
Well, I know you can hear the radio, Martin. Did we find out if the 28 got a penalty there? Did he get an end of it?
No, there's no penalties issued for causing cautions anymore. That's been done
Okay,
away
that
with.
was a
There's
last
all
year thing, right? It's all reviewed
yeah,
after
it's
the
all
race is over.
yeah. Everything's
Assessed
reviewed
at a
after the
later date.
race. You get a point penalty. Well, not a like actual points in the standings, but you get like a certain amount of incident points. And once you reach a certain number of incident points that you've caused, wrecks or whatever, then you can be facing a points penalty or a suspension or something.
For Derek Long in the YouTube chat, the 48 is nameless. That is Hunter Johnson. I don't know why.
We get glitches like that.
Yeah, and
Sometimes
it's always
just
it's him every
decides to
week
do it.
so far. I don't
Really?
know what it. Yeah, every week so far.
I didn't notice it last
Johnson.
week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it just
I noticed.
shows. I think it just shows his first name. So on the standings at the top, it
says
doesn't
Hunter?
say anything.
Oh.
Because the standings
Oh, yeah,
at the
it would
top
just say
show last
Johnson,
name.
yeah.
So it's blank on the
Weird.
top of the screen, and then like my end of race results, it just says Hunter. So, but that is Hunter Johnson. Sorry for the ugly technical glitch there. Eric Wolf's still down pit lane. I still got that pulled up for whatever reason. He's been down there for a long, long time now. Taylor Butcher Benjamin actually blinks out of the circle, and now he's back. Wow, he was out for a long, long
he's
time.
he's running the lead.
And he's up in the front on 14-lap old tires. That could cause issues for a lot of guys here. If it happens again, I'm sure he will be asked to go back in the field. Josh Patterson in the 01 making the pass on the outside look easy.
Eric Hutton needed to get around the 8, and he went right up into Wade Hustad. And Hustad's going to fall back now.
Yeah, now Hutton very slow as well, so that slowed them all down. The 1 and the 55 starting to take off from the rest of the field. Logan McCannley in the 88 all the way up to the 4th position, so I think that's the best we've seen him running this season so far. Started in the 9th spot there.
Well, Hunter Johnson, I thought he was going to get roadblocked there by Butcher Benjamin, but he's able to get back out. Goes 3 wide for a little bit.
Wade Hustad running way up close to that outside wall. Maybe he was a little too close to the back of the 88. He missed his braking point by just a hair, so he's going to lose a significant amount of time to the 88. Anthony Burrows in the 62, right on his tail, and the 33-year-old Getty Buckner, who we talked about earlier. He currently sits in the 7th spot. We know he's very, very fast here. Kevin Varnador in the 63 runs 8th. Richard Lucky, I believe, was our winner last week, correct? Or was it...
Chris Lucky.
Was it his...
Chris Lucky.
Lucky.
Chris Lucky got...
He got lucky at the end of that race, let's be honest. It was a big wreck at the very end there involving John Theodore. His first possible win. Maybe has some bad blood, maybe not coming back to the DRL. I don't know where he's at this week. I haven't followed his stream this week to know if he's actually coming back. He was very disappointed. His first opportunity to win a race in this really, really difficult Cup Series that we run here in the DRL. And,
I'm hoping
like he had it taken away by the 62 Burrows, who
I'm hoping real life just got in the way or something, or maybe some technical issues, because
that'd be unfortunate.
That's just not a way. You shouldn't just dip out because of that. And it sounded like after the race when he was talking in his stream was saying, "Hey, I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to get the win, and I'm not going to give 62 any more room like I have before."
Yeah, and we all.
That's what you want to see. I want to see that. I want to see guys, come back the next week and put a bumper to the guy and race him hard.
The
and
62 was a clean driver.
Last
season
that was kind of out of character.
Everything. I think he had 0 races out of the top 5 last year. So Burrow's very, very consistent, very, very clean driver. And, last week was his first not top 5, and I can't remember over a year. So. It's tough, but at the same time, Anthony Burrows, 15-year-old guy, 16 maybe now. I believe he's 16. He said to us right after that race, he said, "I really, really wanted the win." Well, Burrows, you get a lot of opportunities to win. That would have been Mr. Theodore's very first. So.
Yeah, he just got too aggressive there, and we see it. I mean, we see it all the time. I think we saw it in the real life Vegas race between Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski right at the end there, where I think Keselowski could have, easily just taken out Joey Logano there. I mean, it was a slide job right at the end. They were almost hit bumpers.
just have a guy say in the YouTube chat, Randy Baker says Mr. Theodore is out of town for work this week.
All right.
So, hey, I mean, if
Well,
you're
that's-
working,
Yeah, real life.
gotta make money to afford to play a simulator like this. So. You can't buy load cell guns. I guess unless you live in mom's basement, right?
Yeah.
Chad Presnell on the 55, posting lap times. Now has a half-second gap over Josh Patterson in the 01. He's got some heat coming from Eric Hutton as well. So with Hutton on the inside of him, that's going to slow both of those guys down, trying to battle for that second position and give Presnell a chance to kind of run away with this. .499 seconds. Both of those guys were at the exact same time when I looked at the lap counter. So do the crossover move here on Hutton. Tries to get it done. Almost gets a nose to the inside of him. Hutton pushing him down almost onto the apron. That apron will upset these Cup cars. I don't know if you had any chance to run the Cup this week, but you can run the trucks down that apron for pretty much the entire race, even, you know, when you're...
Yeah, I stayed away from the apron.
But on these Cup cars, man, 10 laps in, and that apron just gives the car all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, I dipped into the apron maybe 1 or 2 times during the whole NIS,
Yeah,
but
once you get
30, 20, 30 laps in, you don't want to. You just kind of stay out right in the middle. Stay in the middle of that tri-oval, because again, it always gets light too. You feel that same kind of thing as Atlanta, not as rough as Atlanta. Dustin Musial gets into the wall. That's going to slow him up. Mike Springer's going to go by him. So Musial's going to drop to 21st.
Spot. Musial's running 20th now, right? Mike Springer in the 19th position. 12th. Alexander Russell in the 44 sits in 21st. Carl Dodson in the 87 runs 22nd. Jim Westerfield. Oh, and there's Dustin Musial again.
Musial going down its apron now. Now he's going to slide up into the turn.
Fortunately, most of the guys have resorted now to running the high line as these tires have gotten older. Musial scrubbed a lot of speed off there, so able to stick it down on the bottom, but it wasn't a big deal that he pulled back up on the track. Luckily, we're not at a faster track.
Yeah, and he was slowed down enough too.
Steam line coming. And Forage, we saw him, I think, lead a couple laps last week. He was doing there very well there for just a little while. The point standings.
I think he finished fourth place
right now. He's only 15 points back of the lead. Wade Hustad has the lead with those 98 points after the first 2 races. Nathan Jurgensen sits in second in that 31 car.
Yeah, there's another guy who's not out there. Yeah, so Nathan Jurgensen and John Theodore, those guys are, you know, Jurgensen was Theodore's spotter last season, so I don't know if they work together. Maybe they do, and they're both out of town.
Yeah, possibility. Or it's a conspiracy theory. They both left the league and haven't said anything. But you see Thomas Harmon there and Chris Lucky, both of their names in yellow. So long as they show up to 80% of the races this season, they've already locked themselves into the playoffs. Unless we have some crazy scenario where, you know, more than 16 guys get a win this season, and it'll come down to points. But you know, if it's anything like last season, you'll have 2 or 3 guys with that 5, 6, 7 wins. You'll have 7 or 8 guys with 1 or 2 wins.
But we were, watching so far early this season. I mean, we've had 2 different drivers win. Granted, it's Daytona. I mean, it's Daytona, Atlanta, so usually you do.
Right.
But right now we got Chad Presnell leading the way. Eric Hutton behind him. Logan McAnally. So any one of those guys could win this race. Josh Patterson has been had a good showing so far. And then, of course, Wade Hustad and Anthony Burrows still looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, the 2 dominant forces in the Dynasty Racing League last year, Burrows and Anthony Burrows and Wade Hustad. So Burrows dominated the beginning of the season. I think Wade joined about, 4 or 5
he joined a few races in, yeah. I think he was here from the beginning, actually.
Well, maybe he was. But
he really came on strong mid-season.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, he hit about the midway point, and it was every other week. It was either Burrows or Hustad or Burrows or Hustad. And we had a lot of new, fresh faces here in the Winter Series. In the Dynasty Racing League, and they're back for this Cup Series this year. So. Bresnell still leading the way out there. Logan McCannley in the 88 all the way down to the apron again. Dangerous running down there. He looks comfortable though, running that bottom line all the way around the corner. Not having an issue with that. Does not get up into the 78, and he's able to maintain straightaway speed with the 78. So, I don't know. Logan McCannley maybe found something where all these guys now are heating up the top side of that track. We do have the dynamic track here, so it runs just like it does in real life. They heat it up there, and Logan McCannley gets a little more grip at the bottom. See some smoke in that tri-oval.
Well, I know a few laps ago, Kid and Honeycutt,
they're chasing a trail of smoke. There's somebody smoking all the way down. Is that Thomas Harmon, 68? Maybe with a blown
yeah, 68 is slow in the apron.
Go back, see.
Yeah, his front end has been so he might have lost his engine.
Seeing him run
at this point.
Here.
Well, I can still hear him shifting. I can still hear his engine doing something, so I don't know if he's completely lost his engine, but he was smoking.
Oh yeah,
a few laps ago, also, Caden Honeycutt kind of grazed the wall and basically rage quit. As he just disappeared right off the track when he did that and said, "No more of this."
Thomas Harmon, that is probably going to be the end of his race. Unfortunate ending for the 68 tonight. He's done well this season too, hasn't he? Yeah, he got that win, and he's at 7th in the standings. So not very consistent, but again, he's locked into that playoffs already. So all he's got to do is show up here and turn laps at this point. Obviously, none of these guys
that's what I'm
show
wondering.
up every single week to try to lose a race. You know, he's going to come out and do his best. He's going to keep practicing with those S2R guys and try to put on a showing every week. But he is locked into the playoffs. So
yeah, I'm wondering if that's a strategy of Eric Wolf and Tommy Bordeaux. I mean, I've seen Bordeaux. I think he showed up to Daytona. I don't know if he was in race at all last week, but both those races only running maybe a lap, just making a token appearance. And I don't know if that's just to lock down that 80% or something, because possibly. It was really weird that Eric Wolf and Tommy Bordeaux came down along with Seth Noel. Noel running 19th now after not putting down a qualifying lap and having to do that drive-through penalty at the beginning of the race. Wolf and Bordeaux putting down, completely putting down strategic times to start at the start at the back of the field, and then immediately go down pit road. So I don't know what's going on there.
So, Thomas Harmon says they must have changed how the engine lets go. Because you know how it normally does that, and then that's it? Your RPMs just drop? Well, he said...
yeah.
And he said it just started slowly dropping RPMs and throwing smoke. He didn't just get that sudden engine explosion.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if he had lost the engine. Whoa, and it looks like Eric Hutton just spun out. He's spinning down the backstretch, no yellow. And that's going to hurt him really bad. Yeah, he kind of clipped that wall coming out of turn 2. Just got the wall.
Car out of 2. That corner, man, all night has haunted everybody.
Yeah, it looks like he's also looks like he just kind of rage quit as well.
I mean, I think getting out of the car. That's the one that got. Who was it early in the race? I think that's the one that got Thomas Harmon?
No.
Oh, no, that's the one that got Getty Buckner at the very beginning of the race. Or no, Joseph Held on Olsen. That's what got him right at the start of the race.
Well, and at the same time, Seth Noel kind of gets out of the car. It looks like he got a little bit loose in the tri-oval, clipped the wall, got into the inside, and he gets out of his car. So a flurry of drivers stepping out of their cars, guys that were in the top 20. Eric Hutton right up front, and Seth Noel was running 19th, and they're both out of the car and losing laps now.
That's unfortunate. There is bonus points for these guys sticking around for races throughout the regular season, so obviously you want to collect as much as possible in case you don't end up winning a race and you can't lock yourself.
Yeah, so Harry Tiller is going to work his way up to 25th now. with Eric Hutton and Seth Noel stepping out. He is the lucky dog. He's the only guy down a lap that's still on the track. Everyone else, Hutton, Noel, Honeycutt, Harmon, Pope, Wolf, and Bordeaux, either down pit lane or out of their cars completely.
I really wish I had a camera set up just at the exit of turn 2 because everybody is just fighting the car so hard to keep it off the wall on the exit of that corner. Watch the 01 to 23 here.
It's really interesting too. I don't know if it's just way hotter today than the race.
How close? I mean, the 01 just came an inch from the wall. I don't know how these guys.
I think he brushed it. I think he might have brushed it there too because he looks like he's got some damage. Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad during the NIS race that I ran. That was of course fixed, and so the track temps or the weather at least doesn't change too much over the course of the race. Yeah, I didn't have any troubles with that turn 2 wall, so I'm surprised these guys are. And I would say, well, they're pushing it harder, but I'm looking at their times. Their times aren't too much faster than what we were running in NIS, so not as if they're on the edge of what's possible.
I'll tell you what, the 01 is driving the car on the edge, and the 23 of Eli hitting this one headed out. So again, I think the top lane on this track is starting to get warm, and some of these guys able to make that inside line work. As the 23 is faster than the 01 down the back straight, and he took the inside line around that whole corner. So I think there's a lot going for the guys that can get down to the inside and keep control of the car, you know, not let it get loose on you on the way out of the corner. And it might just work for quite a few of them. We're going to ride up here with the 55 at Presnall, see how he's doing it. He is riding in that just below that outside seam, so he's running the outside line. Rose in the 62 just behind him, almost 2 seconds back, with Wade Hustad nipping at his heels. They are both, let's see, Hustad running a little bit lower line, maybe trying to get under the 62 of Anthony Burrows. Burrows running the middle of the track.
Yeah, now we're looking like the beginning of last season. This is what the early season looked like last year. A lot of Chad Presnall, Anthony Burrows, and Wade Hustad running up front. And we kind of forget that Chad Presnall was up there all last season because he kind of faded late in the season. But he was one of those top guys early in the season, racing with both Burrows and Hustad. And
I think he had a few issues just during the playoffs. Things didn't go the way that Presnall wanted. I think maybe him. I know Hunter Johnson and Thomas Harmon got into an issue or two, but I think possibly Presnall was involved.
Yeah, Presnall had an issue
as well.
He served a 1-week suspension for an issue at one point, so yeah, some guys, you know, they'll fade and they'll come, but right now he's racing really well. It looked like Burrows was going to lose that second spot really easily, and I think he did for a moment because he's showing up as third on my current standings, but he is currently in second in front of Hustad. So these two guys swapping positions depending on what line they're running.
Yeah, and quite the gap between them and the 41 of Richard Lucky. So right now it is a, well, I guess you could call it a one-car race, but technically it's a three-car race, top three within 2 seconds of one another. Chad Presnall is pretty much maintaining that 2-second gap, hasn't really been able to expand it, or he hasn't really lost it much in the last 5 laps or so.
Yeah, we'll see. I think if we get a decent length run here, we'll see if Burrows, who's better at the long run? Is Burrows and Hustad, are they going to be better at the long run than Presnall, or vice versa? Because that's, like I said earlier in the race, all these tracks, some guys are really good. They'll take 10 spots in that first 10 laps, and then they will fade. And other guys will lose 10 spots, and then they'll come back, gain those 10 spots, and take another 5 on those 50-lap-old tires.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're sitting 38 laps in on the current tires. We are 62 laps in out of 133 so far this evening.
So I'm going to say around lap 74, you know, probably lap 70 people will start coming in, but 75 will be when the bulk of these guys are going to really start thinking about it.
I would think 10 laps or so is when everybody really starts to consider pulling in to take those pit stops. Maybe only have to pit that just one more time before the end of the race, so long as things stay green. There is a couple tight packs as we move back through the field, though, so guys racing very close to one another on very old tires. So we'll see how that goes moving forward, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you to everybody for tuning in so far. We'll run a commercial or two, and then we will come back to some music for just a couple minutes, and we'll see you guys in just a couple.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
As you guys see there on the left-hand side of the screen, pit board showing that green flag pit stops, the very first green flag pit stop of the race, has started to occur this evening. About half the field now that has come down and collected their first green flag pit. Chad Presnall, the latest in that 55 car down there on pit road. Anthony Burrows currently in the first position. Wade Hustad's running second in the 32. Richard Lucky in the 41 runs third. And Eli Hinton in the 23 as fourth. Got Mike Springer running in the 5th spot right now in that number 12 car. Just barely getting the pass on Hunter Johnson in the 48. Trying to take it on the inside. Has not quite cleared that car yet. You see Chad Presnall coming out of the pits there. So have to stay down below that white line all the way to the backstretch before they're allowed to re-enter. And Mike Springer still unable to clear the 48 of Hunter Johnson. So Springer having a difficult time this late in this green flag run. 53 lap tires.
Now he's coming into pit.
Take that pit stop. So just behind him, the 64 John Mullins. So now we're about 3/4 of the field has come down for a pit stop. Harry Tiller in the 69 back in the 23rd position. He currently sits 2 laps down. He is still 53 laps on his tires. So he's one of the original guys that's still out there running in that first green flag round. Salvatore Di Gennaro in 12th position is coming down. He's the first car a lap down. He will come down and grab a pit. So Carl Dodson, the most recent guy on fresh tires, sits in the 9th position right now.
Another guy gets out of his car for, I don't know why, but Sean Hughes just came down to pit. He got his tires changed, and then he got out of the car. So I'm not sure why people are dropping out of this race when they're top 15.
Sean Hughes 2 laps down in that number 13 car, elects to end his night early. Eli
Well, he wasn't down. He wasn't down at that point. He was only he was on the lead lap, and now he's gonna lose position.
Looks like Eli Hinton finally coming down pit road with Joseph Helt there in the 02 car. Chris Lucky, last week's winner at Atlanta.
Gain some points leading a lap.
Yes, sir. Might as well collect them while you can.
He's going to be coming down this next time.
Joseph Helt in the 02 is only about 9 seconds back of him, currently in 2nd place. So Chris Lucky with a lot of speed. Looks like he's going to be able to slow down just in time for pit road. So, and once again, Chad Presnall in the number 55. Going to occupy the first position, so.
Yeah, not too much of a gap here with guys on old and new tires.
Yeah, not much of a shake-up at all there. I think Chad Presnall actually gained.
Everyone kind of came in at the same time.
So yeah, Presnall. I don't know. Presnall gained a lot, actually. So he came in a little bit earlier than Wade Hustad and Anthony Burrows, so he has about 3 lap fresher tires
kind of gained some time on them.
But, I mean, now we're looking at a gap of, what? I think, is that correct? 16 seconds,
well,
I think he has a gap on Anthony Burrows of 16 seconds. I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah, let's see when these guys flip over here.
Only being 4 laps.
6 seconds right now.
Yeah.
6 seconds.
5.98 it looks like. So finally, once they come across the start-finish line, it'll update that for us.
Yeah, get a refresh.
Yeah, I mean, he gets, you know, he 3 lap older tires he now has. However, you're looking at
he gained
gained 4 seconds on those guys. So, you know, he went from a 2-second gap to now a 6-second gap. So that could pay off in the long run for Presnall.
And everyone's basically on the same schedule right now. Whereas, like I said, like last night in my NIS, you had some guys that were pitting halfway through the run, so they were on fresh tires, blowing past people that were on those, trying to go the whole 50 laps, and then you'd get fresh tires, and now they're on 25 lap tires, and it was just kind of a jumbled up mess. Whereas here, everyone's kind of in the same boat now. There's going to be a few laps difference, depending on when you came in exactly. But I think the spread is probably at the most maybe an 8-lap difference between the first guys and the last guys to come in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, right now,
Kevin Varnador now out of his car.
The guys towards the front that are, you know, a little bit behind some you know, as far as laps go. You're looking at Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 16 laps on his tires in that 8 car. He sits 10th. Jim Westerfield sits 8th. He has 17 laps on the tires. Getty Buckner decided to early pit there in that number 33 car. He was doing very, very well. I know he had a lot of success early in the week, as I said earlier in the broadcast. He kind of early pits, so him, Josh Patterson, and Connor Lane in the number 5 all came down. They have 13 laps on the tires, so they're about, you know, 4 or 5 laps ahead pit schedule-wise from Chad Presnall. But they're 7 or 8 laps ahead of Anthony Burrows, Wade Hustad, and Richard Lucky in that 41 car. So I think over time we're going to see Burrows, Hustad, Lucky be able to put some time on those guys. Burrows and Hustad now down to about a 5.5 second gap on Chad Presnall. So they've closed in by about a half a second in the last 5 laps or so. I think, you know, we'll slowly but surely see them able to catch the back of the 55. And the 55 doesn't have anything really to gauge himself against now. He can't see other cars in his rearview mirror. He doesn't really have an idea or, you know, something to see, hey, I need to be running the car a little bit harder to stay ahead of Burrows and Hustad. So we might see them over time be able to catch the back of him and get the run for his money towards the end of this race. But right now, the 55
that's what
has it locked up.
Yeah, if he had a spotter, I don't know if he has a spotter, but in real life, your spotter would be saying, oh, he's 5 seconds back. He's, you know, 4/8 back or whatever.
Right,
and
just to let you know how hard
you'd be seeing that gap is getting smaller. Yeah, and no, it's like, oh, should I be pushing a little bit harder? You know, or hey, you've got a 5 second gap. Ease up a little bit. Let him get, you know, you can let him get a little closer before you go back and, you know, keep that pedal to the metal because, you know, save your stuff a little bit. You know, because that's Burrows and Hustad right now kind of have that luxury where they can see him getting closer. They're gaining a little bit. And as long as they gain a little bit over this run, you know, they don't need to gain it all back in the next 10 laps. And they can kind of save their stuff while also gaining on Presnall. Yeah, 19 guys on the lead lap. It's thinned out a little bit. Quite a few guys stepping out of the cars, and quite a few of them stepping out of the cars for I don't know what reason. And, you know, a few of them did spin out and probably just got frustrated. A couple others looked like they were having good races, and like Sean Hughes came down pit road, got his tires changed, got fuel, and then decided to get out of the car. So, not sure if real life intervened, something, just didn't think he could run anymore. I don't know. Our top 5, the usual suspects, Presnall, Burrows, and Hustad, those top 3, and then Richard Lucky running 4th, and Eli Hinton. I think this is the first race he has. I think this is his first race of the season.
I'm not sure if
after
Eli
joining
Hinton has
midway last year.
Has he not shown up for another race this season? Pull up the point standings.
Yeah, he wasn't here. Wasn't here. I don't think he was here last week. So unless he was
inside the top 20, so.
Yeah, I don't think he was. Yeah, I don't remember him at Atlanta, and don't think he was at Daytona either. So yeah, I think this is his first one. Yeah, Varnador blew up.
Talking in the YouTube channel earlier with the break. I guess the guys needed a break. Broadcaster probably had to pee, says Randy Baker. I might have ran and used the restroom, but you know.
Yeah, I did too. There you go.
And then apparently the guys like the unlicensed, you know, beautiful music that we play at that time of the race. You don't have to hear our ugly voices for the entire broadcast.
Well, like I think those breaks are, you know, if you ever watch just the raw live stream of the NASCAR races, you just get those like 5-minute gaps during the commercial breaks where you just have the cars whipping by the cameras.
Right, that's all there is.
That's always fun. It's always fun to just kind of hear what the track sounds like with no one talking over it and no graphics. It's just like
It's definitely pretty crazy. For anybody who has not been to a live NASCAR race, television doesn't do it justice, man. These cars are so unbelievably loud. You can't even imagine. Like,
I think I went when I was younger to a back when they did truck races still at the Milwaukee Mile. That was probably my
you
one
put the
NASCAR
little
race.
earplugs in, and then you put a pair of
Yeah.
headphones on top of that, and you still
Still
can't
loud.
hear anything. Yeah, it's crazy. So
You still
Getty
shout at each
Buckner,
other.
I think now is going to come down pit road again. So,
Huh. Did he short pit? Did he pit quite a bit earlier than the rest of
he
them?
did earlier, but a lot of these guys only with like somewhere between 15 to 25 laps on the tire. So I'm not sure if another.
Yeah. When did he come in? Do you have that when he came in?
I don't. He definitely was out there for about 12 laps. I think he came in like 12 laps earlier than the leader. Than Anthony Brosway-Hustad did.
He's
but
at least 20, 25 laps in, maybe.
yeah, he's only down there for 9.43 seconds. So I think Getty Buckner just coming in, maybe getting right sides and a splash of fuel. I don't know if it's just a fuel thing for him. So definitely a weird pit stop by Getty Buckner in the 33.
Well, if he goes in now, he's now gonna have 40. He's gonna have to run 40 laps to finish this race, but he'll have way fresher tires than a lot of these guys in front of him.
Well, again,
especially as they really begin to fall off.
9.43 seconds, so there's no way he has 4 full tires. So I'm not sure what the pit there was for by the 33 at Getty Buckner.
Yeah, that's true.
Hoping that
That
these
might be
other
enough.
guys have to come down and pit. When did we saw him coming down with what? Like
Well, they all
40
came
to
down
50
around
laps?
between 75 and lap 85. So that was 40 to like you can do about 40, 50 laps here. You could probably push it to 60. I mean, if you're doing finishing the race. So some of these guys, I'm sure, will just stay out the whole way.
Well, question, I just don't know.
Yeah, who knows
how many
what
of them
this
can
is.
make it? Because you have Chad Presnall with 21 laps currently on his tires, Anthony Burrows with 18, Wade Hustad with 18, Richard Lucky with 20, and then Eli Hinton
maybe-
and Mike Springer with 17 and 19. So everybody after that
Yeah,
is
maybe-
pretty much 20 laps plus in, and we have only 35 to go. So
It's gonna be, they're gonna be. They're gonna be on the end of their tires. I mean, about 50, 55 laps in, you're down to about 60% on your right fronts.
what about fuel,
So-
though, is the question.
Fuel, they'll be fine. Fuel isn't even an issue on these. It's the same in Atlanta. The tires are gone far earlier than your fuel. I think a fuel run probably 60, 70 laps easy.
Well, if that's the case, that's what I'm wondering is why did Getty Buckner not take 4 tires?
I think he just wants. I don't know why he didn't take 4. He might as well just stay in that extra 4 seconds to get the 4 and then really tear past people. But we'll see. I mean, maybe right here is just he's a non-points guy. He's the only guy. This week is an open race. Anyone, I think it's the top 5 guys in the standings from the Grand National Series can come up and race in the Cup race. Top 3 from the Truck Series can come up here. And Getty's the only guy, and he's probably thinking, well, I'm going to gamble here, see what happens. Maybe it pays off and I win this race or I finish top 5.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't. I know not to do that tomorrow in the race that actually counts for me.
Well, now you got Jim Westerfield in the number 4 car. He just came down pit road as well. So 14.83 seconds. So just a very normal pit stop for Jim Westerfield. He does elect to take the 4 full tires. So I don't know. Maybe Getty Buckner just banking on the fact that all these guys are going to come down to pit one more time and they'll all take 4 tires and he only took 2. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out as the race continues.
Yeah, because he still needs to get his lap back.
Well,
So he's got to be banking that all of them are going to pit.
Well, Getty just lost his lap because of that pit stop. That's the only reason he
Yeah.
lost it. So
That's what I'm saying. He's got to get it back.
Right now, he
know,
needs to be
these guys are all
shooting
fit.
to get in front of Dustin Buzel in that number 22 car. If he can catch the back of the 22 and get around him, as soon as the caution flag flies, he's the lucky one. So Josh Patterson in that 01, we saw him lead quite a few laps early in the race. He's going to come down pit road as well. So I don't know, Martin. Maybe they all have to pit again, and some of these guys are just doing it early.
Well, yeah, like I said, like if you pit lap 75, anywhere between 75 and 85, you're going to have to go about 50, between 40 to 60 laps to finish the race. So if you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to be trying to finish the race on really, really, really old tires, you might as well come down now, get some fresh ones, and then you'll be, more in that 30 lap range when you're fighting for the win or fighting for position.
I don't know. I really feel with the amount of time that Buckner spent down pit road, I think he just needed to top off on fuel there. That's just how I feel it. Or what do they say in NASCAR? The Sunoco racing fuel. You had to get a splash of Sunoco racing fuel. So Burrows and Hustad now only 1.3 and 1.8 seconds back of Chad Presnall in the 55. They are closing that gap by a significant margin at this point, and I have a feeling the 55 must have made a mistake somewhere along the way. Maybe touched the wall, but Chad Presnall had a very big gap, and again, he only has 3-lap older tires, and at some point, the tires start to plateau. You know, they get so old, they get so worn that it's just a matter of driving the car well, and I'd like to think that Chad Presnall's good enough to handle himself around those two drivers, so I don't know. Doesn't look like he's heavily damaged anywhere or anything like that, but Burrows and Hustad closing the gap.
It's plateauing. You know, he's getting on older tires, so maybe he's not as comfortable on the older tires as Burrows is. They're also working through all this lap traffic now, and so it's going to slow him down. It's also going to slow Burrows down, of course. And let's see where this gap is. Right now it's 1.189. Now it's... Yeah, I mean, Burrows just shaved off, what, 0.04 of a second there?
Yeah, I don't think, again, I think a lot of it comes back to Presnall hasn't had anything to gauge his speed off of. He hasn't had these guys running right on his tail to see how close or not close they are, and unless he has a real spotter, not just an in-game spotter, nobody's going to tell him how hard to push that car. So, and another possibility, maybe it's the fuel thing. Presnall, 3-lap fresher or 3-lap older tires than Burrows and Hustad. Maybe he has just under the amount of fuel he needs, and he's just been letting off a little bit and coasting, trying to conserve a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would surprise me. We'll have to ask about that later, but I think fuel is not an issue. I don't remember fuel being an issue last night, so I don't know what they're doing different here.
The NIS race is the exact same length as our race.
Yeah, it's the same length, and you know, we did like that. The long run, yeah, the long run had nothing to do with fuel. It's just as soon as those leaders started going in, it was like, okay, I need to go in the next few laps. I wasn't thinking about fuel at all. It wasn't that. It was just like, okay, when are the other guys gonna start going in? I need to go in pretty soon after that, otherwise I'm gonna lose a lot of time. You know, and hopefully a caution comes out in between there, and then I can gain a lot of spots. But
no, Anthony Burrows almost right to the back of the 55 at Presnall. So
yeah, he really gained a lot on that last couple laps.
He's had slowly dwindling. 28 is Spencer Tartan has got just a little bit loose on the exit of the corners once or twice around the 55. So he has to be nervous coming up on these lap cars. Both of them very good drivers. You got the 44 there.
Oh yeah, 55 getting picked here by a couple. He's got a lapped car on the inside. Alexander Russell blocking him up here, and that's going to really help out Anthony Burrows, who is now right up on Presnell's bumper.
Well, now you got Logan McAnally in the 88. He's on those brand new tires after just taking another pit stop.
Yeah, he just blew past him.
Yeah, he flies by him on the inside, and Chad Presnall now. Anthony Burrows says hello there. So finally, looks like he'll be able to get around the 44 here of Alexander Russell.
Yeah, now they got the outside line.
Still going to be some work getting around. Spencer Tart, who hits the outside wall, he's going to send himself down to the inside.
He's braking, I think, right?
Yeah, Spencer Tart finally pulls back out on the track. Wade Hustad kind of being blocked a little bit by him. Hustad's going to get around him with these, but Spencer Tart feeling the heat there with those two leaders moving down his neck. And Anthony Burrows to the inside of the 55 is going to take the lead. So, you know, we talked about him earlier. Young guy, maybe made a mistake last week, wanted to win really bad, kind of forced John Theodore to completely turn sideways at the end of Atlanta, giving Chris Lucky the win late. What was that? I think that was turn 4 of the last lap. So
yeah, that was right at the end. And yeah, I think that was a race that Burrows could have still won if he had just gone to the outside, maybe. I think
it would have been a close race.
He picked the inside. Yeah, sure. He picked the inside. He picked the inside, and the inside disappeared because it wasn't really there.
It was there for about a millisecond.
Yeah, it was so little daylight. He saw that daylight, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to go in there." And then, oh wait, Theodore wasn't actually moving. It was just Theodore got kind of slightly drifted, and sometimes that's what happens as that guy in front. You gotta know that. Especially on a last lap like that.
Yeah, but if you try to hold it down too much and you lose control of the car, I don't know. I don't think that gap was ever an entire car width.
Oh, it was not. It was not. But
there was an actual gap there. But there was at least 3/4 of car width, and Burrows saw it and he tried to shoot it. it never developed. So I don't know. It is what it is. Burrows is now your leader. And he doesn't really have anybody out in front of him. Chad Presnall kind of falling out behind him. So unless Wade Hustad can put something together here towards the end of the race, we might just see Burrows check out. 20 laps to go, 113 in out of 133. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. Happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm really curious what's going on with Eric Wolf. You know, it looks like it was a planned thing to just kind of qualify last, pull it in right away.
Yeah.
But he's still sitting. I mean, the car is still sitting on the track, so it's not like he exited the session.
Well, he's going to get some bonus points for sticking around to the end of the race. I don't know, whatever. We will try to chat with those guys throughout this week and see what happens. Chad Presnall on the 55 is down pit road. So maybe he expects everyone to pit again. I mean, maybe the fuel thing's not going to work. Yeah. It's either that or Anthony Burrows and Wade Hustad are going to be the only two cars out there. Eli Hinton in the number 23, he's actually 1 lap fresher tires than those two. But they have the freshest tires on the track. I mean,
I look at the gap. Well, and you look at the gap too. There's a 10-second. You know, Eli Hinton's 8 seconds behind Hustad and Burrows.
Presnall would not have pitted just now unless he was going to run out of fuel. That has to be the only reason. So if Burrows and Hustad maybe can just nurse the throttle and limp their way around for the win here, I don't know. That's tough for Presnall maybe to miss it by 1 lap.
Yeah, the post-race interview is gonna be interesting because that's my question. It's like, was fuel an issue? Because it did not seem to be an issue at all last night. We had, you know, I could have gone 70 laps. I could have kept going around on those old tires. Fuel was not an issue at all last night in the NIS. So I don't know what's different here.
I would assume it has to be a fuel thing. I can't see it being anything different. And if that's the case, then Burrows and Hustad are going to have to start limping here pretty soon, because I have a feeling that's the only reason they caught Presnall as quick as they did is he was limping around the track to try to conserve, and he just couldn't conserve enough. And he only had 2 lap older tires than these guys. He only came in 2 laps before them, so he maybe burned another gallon of fuel. I mean, now you see Hustad in the 32. He's quickly catching the back of Anthony Burrows. So maybe Burrows feeling the heat and letting off the accelerator a little bit as he comes through the corners and trying to conserve some himself. As now the 32 of Wade Hustad, I mean, closing every second. Every corner Hustad is getting closer and closer and closer to Anthony Burrows. And that was not the case just a few laps ago. So we'll see. Oh, man, I wish we could just go down right now and ask these guys how they're feeling. Obviously, you don't want to interrupt them in the middle of this, but...
Yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, that's the question of the race is fuel an issue? Because I did not think fuel... I could have sworn the fuel run was probably closer to 70 than 50. Well, and it seems like a lot of these guys are dealing... I mean, if you went in and lapped 73, which I don't think anyone did, maybe the earliest guy, that might have been Buckner, went in around... early 70s, then you're running 60 laps to finish the race, and now you're maybe you're getting close to fuel, but I didn't think fuel was an issue, and now I don't know, maybe it's strategic.
The question, Eli Hinton, who currently sits in 3rd, if it is a fuel thing, he has he came in 1 lap sooner, or I mean later than Hustad and Burrows, so maybe he has enough fuel if those two don't. I don't know.
Yeah, now they're racing right alongside each other.
Yeah, and this is really gonna... Oh, and they make contact.
And Hustad just...
Wait, Hustad able to hold on to it? Oh my gosh, how does the 32 hold on to that? I think the 62 turned down into him a little bit, but that's... I mean, tires that are already eaten up like they are, that's just gonna hurt him even more.
Yeah, I'm gonna take another look at this just to kind of see where Burrows went.
Now you have Chad Presnall on the 55 to the outside of Wade Hustad. So Presnall trying very, very hard to get his lap back. We'll see if he's able to.
I think Burrows. It looks like Burrows kind of stole his line there and said, "Hey, I'm going to take that middle line." And Hustad
again, those guys
planning on that.
Used to racing around one another. I don't think there was any surprises there. They just kind of met each other in the middle of the track.
Yeah, Chad Presnall getting his lap back, and he's got those fresher tires. He is
currently
moving
the last
pretty well
car
too
on the lead lap, but gaining a lot of time. Yeah, precious seconds every lap that passes. We got 10 laps to go, it looks like. So Chad Presnall will have... Whoa, Anthony Burrows getting very, very close to that outside wall. Chad Presnall will have 10 laps to try to make up, what, 30 seconds?
30
I mean,
seconds.
that's
asking a lot.
2 seconds
but...
a lap. There's no way he makes up more than 2 seconds a lap. Not at this
Yeah,
point.
but he got his lap back. Buckner never got his lap back, and that's saying something. And I think Taylor Butcher Benjamin is now coming down pit road.
Yeah, Martin, I'm telling you, I think there's
It's
fuel
got-
involved here, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not coming down at this point. 10 laps left in the race. I'm not coming down pit road. I'm sticking with whatever I got. I'm hoping I can.
Fuel, hope
You
you
know,
make it
I'll
to the
lose.
end.
I'll
That's it.
lose a position here or there, maybe to another guy, but I'm not going to come down at this point unless it's a fuel issue. And it seems like that must be what it is. And that really surprised me because I did not expect that at all tonight. After doing the NIS, it didn't even cross my mind. Fuel. Atlanta and Vegas didn't I didn't think about fuel at all in those 2 races.
Just had the guys in the YouTube chat say the owner of S2R is not happy. All these equipment damages, and then Ryan Hesgard says he's getting pissed. Well, turns out Ryan Hesgard is the owner of S2R, so he's speaking for himself there, guys. No more juice boxes at practice for them. That's funny. I love it. I mean, we're going to watch lap times here and see 31.427 for Anthony Burrows the last time by. Wade Hustad with a 31.339. So after colliding there, Hustad is actually running a little faster lap times.
Yeah, they really haven't fallen off at all.
I mean, Eli Hinton in the 23 running the 31.193. So that's
gaining.
0.2 of a second he gained on them just on the last lap alone. Maybe Eli Hinton, he sits 5 seconds back. Just a few laps ago, he was 7 seconds back. So
yeah, it was cool.
Hinton
Yeah, it was
maybe
pretty close to
pushing
8.
the car, and Burrows and Hustad maybe letting off a little bit because they're trying to conserve some fuel here. I don't know. I have to find out from these drivers. Maybe it was just a strategy decision. It has nothing to do with fuel at all. But maybe it was just a shot in the dark by the 55, trying to see if he can get that time back if he pit that early. And clearly we know at this point it's not going to pay off in the long run, but he has found himself back up into the 11th position. He just passed Chris James in the 82. So he is no longer the last car on the lead lap. He's second to last car, and he's only 21 seconds back. But 5 to go. It's not going to be enough. Spencer Tartt in the 28 now down pit road.
Yeah, that seems like a strange. Yeah, there's got to be something going on with fuel because at this point you just got to get around the track. I mean, I don't care how old your tires are. I mean, these guys should be good enough to get around the track.
28, only a 5.67 pit stop. So he took no tires. All he did was come in and get a splash of fuel and went right back out on the track.
Wow. I don't know why fuel is such an issue here. I would think you just come in and you got the full 2 cans on that last stop. When you got your 4 tires, you should be good. And I don't know. Yeah, that's very surprising because again, those earliest guys are only going to be running 60 laps, I would think. So Anthony Burrows kind of grazed the wall on that last turn there.
Anthony Burrows now running a 31.473, so they dropped 0.2 of a second just on the
And
last.
that's going to be the race, I think.
Wow, and for it to happen like that, I don't know where the caution flag flew. I'm trying to figure out who's slow here.
Looks
Connor Lane
like
in the number 5 has to be it, I would guess.
Well, Salvador De Gennaro is off in the apron. Yeah, Connor Lane.
De Gennaro hits the outside.
De Gennaro hit the
makes
wall.
Contact with the 5, sends
Connor
him
Lane.
down into the infield.
Connor Lane didn't have much of a chance because he got loose in the turn, flew up into him as he was getting.
That's Connor Lane's second time not standing much of a chance tonight, so he can't be happy after this evening. Getting tapped early by Harry Tiller. And forced up into... Who was that he made contact with? It was Harry Tiller hit the back of him and pushed him up into... what was that, early in the race?
That was Harmon. Harmon.
Thomas Harmon in the 68, and then that just there. I mean, he had nowhere to go. It's Salvatore.
I think Eli Hinton thought he might have been able to catch those leaders. I don't know if he would have been able to. He had gotten that lead down to 5.3, but he wasn't shaving off enough time each lap to catch him in the next 3.
No, we only had a few laps to go, so a very uneventful ending to that race. Wade Hustad in the 32 and Anthony Burrows in the 62.
Yeah, Burrows says he has. I think Burrows is mentioning he has 1 gallon left, so wasn't as close. I mean,
where's the
pretty close, but not as close as I thought it would be.
Where's the 32? Oh, he wasn't showing up on the screen. There he is. The 32 Wade Hustad is going to get second. So, I mean, 1 gallon left. I don't know. I think the guys would have had a tough time making it around. That's crazy. I mean, Chad Presnall taking the gamble. He's going to come away with the top 10, but we'll get an interview with him after this race is over.
Yeah, I want to know what the fuel situation was, and a lot of guys were coming down late in that run where it didn't really make sense for them to do so. Spencer Tart, I mean, Getty kind of came down pretty early, trying to do a strategy or something, but yeah, that was kind of a weird last run because a lot of guys, it looked like they were dealing with fuel. But I don't think fuel should be an issue. Even Burrows said there, it's like he had a gallon left. That's probably, I would say, about 10 laps worth, I would think.
10 laps on a gallon of fuel?
Maybe not 10. Maybe 5 or 6.
No, I think, really? How much? What do these cars hold?
I don't know. It's just, it doesn't, I
think
don't
a gallon
remember.
Left is only a couple laps, to be honest, around the mile and a half.
But it's just weird because fuel did not seem like an issue last night, and now it is, so I don't know.
Well, anyway,
what changed.
We're going to run through these unofficial results because this is the final lap. These guys will not go back green. Anthony Burrows, after leading 27 laps, basically all there at the end of the race after he gets around Presnall. 27 laps led, he finishes first. So Anthony Burrows with his first race of the season. We expect to see him a couple more times after almost getting one last week till he took Theodore out. Wade Hustad is going to finish second with 1 lap led. Got those bonus points. Same with Eli Hinton getting the bonus points. He finishes third in the 23. Mike Springer finishes fourth. 5th place goes to Chris Lucky, last week's winner. 6th place to Joseph Helt, who was doing an awesome job. I mean, he got that pole position. We saw him hit that wall very early in the race, able to come back up and get a 6th place finish, so great work by him. Hunter Johnson, whose last name's not showing up in that 48 car, he finishes in the 7th spot. Carl Dodson, 8th. 9th goes to John Mullins. 10th place to Chad Presnall, who led the most laps this race, so he'll get a bonus point for that. He finishes in the 10th position with 77 laps led. Richard Lucky finishes 11th. 12th goes to Chris James, the 82. 13th, Alexander Russell. 14th, Dustin Musial. 15th, Josh Patterson with 12 laps led. Getty Buckner leading 10 of them, finishes 16th. Jim Westerfield, 17th. 18th to Connor Lane. 19th, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Spencer Tart finishes 20th. You got Salvatore Di Gennaro causing that final caution in the 36. He's going to finish in the 21st spot. Harry Tiller, 22nd. 23rd goes to Logan McAnally. 24th to Kevin Varnador. 25th, Sean Hughes. Christopher Pope finishes 26th. 27th to Thomas Harmon. Eric Hutton finishes 28th. Seth Noel, 29th. Caden Honeycutt, 30th. And last but not least, you had Eric Wolf and Tommy Bordeaux, who really only posted that 1 lap early in the race and then pulled off the track. Those guys get 31st and 32nd, respectively. That's the unofficial results for the race. We're going to go down to the track and try to gab guys for a couple interviews here. The very first person I would love to talk to is the 55 here, Chad Presnall. We'll see if we can get him in here for a brief moment. The winner of that race, Anthony Burrows in the 62, is celebrating over there by the start-finish line. Chad Presnall, where are you, buddy? Oh, there it is. Chad Presnall, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boss.
Hey, man, I gotta ask. 19 laps to go in that race, and you decided to come down and pit. What was the thought there? Was it a fuel thing?
I was 5 laps short on fuel, and by that I knew that Anthony was going to go ahead and check out. I didn't have tires. I figured I might make that time up, short pitting and pick that lead back up that way. Didn't quite pan out. I don't know what happened. Like somebody got into it on the back stretch, a couple laps.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I don't think you would have made up all the time. Maybe would have got a couple more positions back. Question I got to ask, though. You're the one down there on the track. I can't hear the radio conversations going on. Burrows was only about 2 lap fresher tires than you. Did he have the fuel to make it to the end?
I believe he said he had 1 gallon or half a gallon. I think that may have had to come in or really peel it way back. It's hard to say. I would certainly hope to have to come in and pit, but didn't pan out.
Well, you took a big gamble there, man. It was very close. We really enjoyed watching you race tonight, leading 77 laps. You'll get the bonus points for that. Most laps led this evening. Congrats on all of that. I mean, you still come away with the top 10. Not a bad spot to be in. We're glad to have you back. And you got any shout-outs you'd like to give anybody before we let you go, man?
The whole DRL crew. And everybody out at Arcos Field Services, anybody tuned in tonight, got them on the car this year. About it, man.
Yeah, I got one more question for you.
What you got?
Well, you choose to answer or not, but I see you weren't communicating a whole lot with Mr. Hustad this evening. We had a little falling out there, or what's going on? I know he's racing with S2R now, but...
Yeah, he chose to go a different route than I wanted to go this year. I felt like that, I was gonna be me and him run solo. Sometimes I feel like solo is the best way to gain a competitive edge. Share everything, find out.
Well, yeah, I mean, not everybody knows what you're doing when you're out there running by yourself and not telling people the game plan. So you guys raced very close again tonight, like we pretty much saw all season last season. We wish you the best of luck moving forward, man. Have a great night.
Oh yeah, thanks.
That was Chad Presnall. Looks like, I don't know, did he just get bumped up into 9th position? I thought he finished 10th. I'd had a little shift in the standings there. At the end
yeah,
of the
he's been. I got him in 9th there.
Yeah, that was unofficial results. They're not all necessarily guaranteed, but very, very close to how everybody was going to finish. We're going to go down now to Anthony Burrows in the 62. Look at those 3 guys. Top 3 all sitting down there right now. I'm going to grab Anthony Burrows and pull him in here for a quick interview. Anthony Burrows, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, saw you hanging out in the S2R channel for a majority of this evening. I know Hustad in there as well, so he's now an S2R member. You guys running right next to each other all night long. What was that like for you?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, those guys are really quick, and it was just so tough to pass on the bottom when you're side by side and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was fun racing Wade there at the end too. He kind of came up into me, but we were both saving fuel, and the car just push up every time we'd clutch it. So yeah, we raced clean the whole night. Nice to come home with the W too. That was a great race.
Now, you talked about clutching it. We were in suspense for like the last 40 laps. We figured it had to be a fuel thing because we saw a couple guys come down, just take a splash of fuel and get right out of the pits. Chad Presnall coming down. I think he took maybe rights or lefts. I don't know which tires he decided to take, but he had about a 9-second pit stop, not a full, 4-tire stop. But do you think you had enough fuel to make it to the end if we didn't see the caution fly there?
Yeah, I think I was about a half lap to the good. I'm not sure about Wade. I think he was a bit short, but yeah, it would have been really close either way, though. Yeah, I think I would have had just enough, though.
Well, we talked to you right after the race last week. Wasn't in the best of spirits after sending Theodore flying on the final corner of the last lap. You said you really wanted the win. You came out here and got it tonight, man. Congratulations on first place. Started in second, and you were able to make it happen over those long runs of green flag racing there at the end. Let's hear any shout-outs you have this evening.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Wade, Getty, Connor, Spencer, all the guys in that S2R chat. Really everyone in the whole race clean. So, yeah, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast as always. You guys do an excellent job each week. And, yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate the compliments. We will see you next week at ISM, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take it easy. And we're going to go down, and we are going to grab Wade Hustad in the number 32, who is your second place finisher for this evening after starting 6th. These guys know strangers to the broadcast booth up here. Pretty much interview them on a regular basis. Wade Hustad, you got a copy, sir?
I sure do.
Second place finish tonight. How bad did you want first, man?
Hey, every race we want first. We just had to play about 2 different strategies tonight, trying to get that track position and save fuel at the end. It wasn't the most fun race, but we were there.
Yeah, being there at the end, I guess, is all that matters. I talked to Presnall just a few minutes ago. You guys seemed, I thought you were still racing together. Maybe that's not the case now that you've found your way into S2R. You guys caught up to the back of him really, really quick. Burrows kind of put a little bit of a gap on you, and then you gained right back to the back of him. Do you think you had enough fuel to make it to the end or not?
I was kind of gauging it. It looked like I was about 0.6 of a lap short. But again, that was just with me saving probably the last 15 laps. We could have had something. I was running that lower line thinking I could keep the revs down a little bit more and save just a bit more gas than those guys running the top line. But from the sounds of it, talking with Anthony, he had plenty to make it to the end. But that last lap or two probably would have been interesting if the yellow didn't come out. I think we probably would have ran us both tanks dry, him and I. But I hate to see that happen, Chad. You know, we're still, you could say we're racing together. Him and I are best friends. He's one of those Lone Star soldiers, I guess you could say. He takes pride in what he does. He's really, really fast. And tonight, that race pretty much was his. It just kind of was crap. He came down to fuel mileage. He was super quick tonight. So,
Yeah, maybe pitting just a couple laps early before that last green flag run, and then, I mean, who knows how many positions he would have gained or not gained, depending on if you guys ran out of fuel or not. It would have been tough to tell, but that last caution flag definitely throwing a wrench in the plans. Either way, this interview's about you, not Chad. You come away with the second place finish, man. Yet to capture your first victory this season. How you feeling about that?
hey, I'm not going to complain right now. As far as the competition we have in DRL this year, it's actually pretty darn cool. We have a lot of fast guys that came back from last year, and then some of those new guys too, Eric Hutton, and I think the other one is McNally. Those guys are looking pretty darn good, and it's cool to see the Lucky brothers with those too. So this year, I think the racing is going to be top notch. So that's something to look forward to. But it's just going to keep us hungry and ready to come back week after week and try to get some of these wins.
All right, man. Well, I hope you're ready for Phoenix. We will see you next week. If you have any shout-outs for anybody, let's hear them now, man.
Yeah, I just want to thank Anthony for racing there. Him and I usually race awesome together. I apologize for getting into him just a little bit. I think I washed up the track, got sideways. But thanks to Anthony for clean racing, like always. I just want to thank Joe, Tom Harmon, Chad Presnall, and just you guys for what you do in the booth as well. But tonight's race was seemed like a pretty clean track. So we're happy with the finish, and we'll move on to Phoenix.
Thank you, sir. We will see you next week. Have a great night.
You too. See you, Ryan.
That was Wade Hustad, your second place finisher for this evening. Now we will go down and grab Eli Hinton in the 23 car, running my number. I like it, Martin.
Yep.
That's my number in the truck series. Gotta
In the
love it.
trucks, yeah.
Eli Hinton. I don't know if this is our first time interviewing Hinton or not. I think we might have got him once or twice in that winter series, but there he is, Hinton Motorsports. That's where he's at. Eli Hinton, you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, top 3, buddy. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, it was a fun race. I mean, there were a few cautions at the beginning, but we got that run at the end. I wish we could have finished it under green. I think I could have made it, and I'm not sure if Anthony or Wade could have made it. It was going to be close. But yeah, it was a fun, was like a 95-lap run.
Yeah, we were discussing fuel. You had 1 lap fresher tires than they did, so you had just a splash more fuel than both Burrows and Hustad. Burrows said he had half a lap still after the checkers. Wade Hustad seems to think he was about a half a lap short, and those guys came down at the exact same time. So Who knows how it would have panned out there at the end? It's unfortunate we didn't get to see it with that late caution coming in. But either way, you still grab a top 3. I think this is our first time interviewing you. Yes.
You interviewed me last year.
Was it?
I'm not sure when.
Might
I
have
know
been last year, right after you
Pocono.
joined the season, because you took my car
Yeah.
number, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I want the 13. I don't know who has that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, either way, you still come away with the 3rd place finish. You're looking good so far, and you gonna be back next week for Phoenix.
I should be. I mean, Phoenix isn't my favorite track, but I should be able to, run top 5 hopefully, and maybe get. And then we go to Auto Club in that new package, and I don't know about that. It should be fun.
Yeah, we'll see what it's really like when it gets here. Probably next Tuesday night, or actually tomorrow night is when that package will come out. So you have a chance
Tomorrow
to run it all
morning.
week at ISM. So, I mean, 21st to 3rd, not a bad finish for you, man. You got any shout outs for anybody tonight?
I guess Air Cutting. We're not technically on teams together, but we kind of work together. We were in the channels, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, SYM TV.
All right, man. Well, you have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week at Phoenix.
Okay, thank you. You too.
And that was Eli Hinton in the number 23, your 3rd place finisher for this evening. And we ran through the unofficial results just a bit ago. The next race of this series, like I said earlier this evening, that'll come to you from ISM Speedway in Avondale, Arizona for the Phoenix 256th. That is next Monday night. Me and Martin right back here with you, probably about 9:25. We will make that go live. And the next broadcast on DRL TV will be tomorrow night for the Grand National Series right back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Vegas 175. That'll be in those B cars. I know Getty Buckner will be looking to come out and get a little redemption there. Finishes 16th tonight, 1 lap down. So he was doing very well at the early stages of the race. I think he qualified 4th. He'll be looking to go out there and get himself a victory this week. And then you'll see, your usual guys up there. Bill Edwards, the 2 of Ryan Hesgard, I think, who ended up getting the win last week in that series. So that should be an exciting one to watch. And then Martin, of course, you'll be racing to that race tomorrow night. I hope you do very well. I know you've gotten a little practice at Vegas this week. And
Yeah, I'm hoping to can get a good race in here. I think Daytona I did okay, but yeah, last week was a struggle at Atlanta. Much different than last year at Atlanta in those B cars. So hopefully we can come back here at Las Vegas tomorrow night and have a good finish. And then on Wednesday you got the trucks, and
oh yeah, I can't wait. Hey, I got a top.
I'm gonna let you guys race that. I'm not coming down to race that one. I'm gonna probably wait a little bit.
Listen here,
maybe next one, maybe Auto Club.
Top 10 Atlanta with no practice. I got my new
Nice.
VR headset. I've been racing on it all week. I got my new wheel, my new pedals. I think I'm good to go. I'm gonna do okay.
Just gotta string together those top 10s, right? Just string those
really
together
all I
and you'll be
want to
fine.
do. That was the goal at Atlanta. I really didn't have any practice there because we run on a Wednesday night and the official races end on a Monday night. So by the time I got my wheel and pedals, which was Monday evening, the official races were already on to Vegas. So the only thing I could run at Atlanta was private practice, and I had nothing to gauge myself against. I was in the dark, didn't really know. So, I said, screw it. I'm going to get as much Vegas practice as possible for this week. And I kind of just let Atlanta do what it did, and I, just tried to keep the car clean, and I managed to, and I finished 10th, and I'm happy with that. But, Wednesday night I'll be going out there and seeing what I can do to maybe get a top 5. We'll see what happens. Thank you to all the viewers for tuning in this evening. It was a great time. I think it was an excellent race. Not too many cautions. We were able to see some long green flag runs, some multiple green flag pit stops for some of the guys. They had to take 2 rather than just the 1, and an exciting fuel race there at the end until that caution flag flew. So thanks again to all of you guys for watching us. Thanks to all the drivers for participating in the league. It wouldn't be the DRL without them. And I'll throw the credits up here. James Pandoff, the owner, all the graphics that yourself, Martin, and Jordan Gonzalez has helped us put together here that everybody sees on the screen every night. David Wellborn Jr., Getty Buckner, Derek Pemberton, Eric Weatherholtz, David Lindahl. I think even David Wingfield is going to be joining us in the broadcast booth as well with Mr. Wellborn. So thanks to all those guys for helping out with the broadcast, and then all the other guys that have helped out as of late with race control. Robbie Armstrong, Dakota Wilkins, Hesgard, Jeremy Hebel, Richard Springer, and again Eric Weatherholtz. Thanks to those guys for stepping up and helping out with the league in any way they can, and making sure that things run smoothly out there for some of these guys. So, Martin, you got anything else for the viewers before we get out of here for tonight?
No, I'm good. See you tomorrow night.
All right, guys, have a good
week.
one. We will see you next week.